In a flash, he accessed the blue window and scrolled through the options. His fingers hovered over a selection, basic lightning magic. It was risky, but it was his only chance. With a quick breath, Raymond made his choice. Raymond confidently applied his newly acquired skill, his movements precise. One hand slipped under the princess's right collarbone while the other rested beneath her left arm, near her armpit. He focused, and in an instant, blue sparks of electricity began to crackle around Princess Sophia's body. But just as Raymond began to hope, a royal guard leapt forward. She pushed Raymond to the ground, his body crashing into the floor with a heavy thud. The cold, sharp edge of her sword was at his throat before he could react. "What have you done to the princess?" she spat, her grip on the sword tightening. The tension in the air was thick as the other guards surrounded Raymond, ready to strike him down where he knelt. The room had grown still. Raymond raised his hands in surrender, his voice calm but urgent. "I wasn't attacking her. I was trying to save her life." His plea was met with skeptical glares. The king ordered the healers to examine Princess Sophia. The highest-ranking healers rushed forward, their robes brushing the floor as they gathered around the princess's still form. Healer Aang, trembling with uncertainty, placed his fingers on Sophia's artery, feeling for a pulse. His eyes widened, and he gasped in disbelief as he felt the faint but unmistakable thump of her heartbeat. The princess, her heart, it's beating again. Aang's voice broke through the tense silence, and whispers of astonishment rippled through the crowd like wildfire. "This is incredible." Raymond remained on the ground, still at sword point, but a wave of relief washed over him. He exhaled deeply, his eyes closing for a brief moment. It had worked. Against all odds, he had saved her. The king, his regal figure towering over the crowd, approached Raymond slowly, his expression unreadable. The crowd parted in hushed awe as the king stopped in front of the young man who had just performed the impossible. The king asked, "What did you do?" Raymond, still kneeling, replied carefully, his voice steady, "Healing wouldn't have worked, Your Majesty. I used another method, a technique I learned long ago." The king's brows furrowed, his arms crossing in front of him. The silence stretched as Raymond's words hung in the air. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the king sighed deeply, turning to address the hall. "The banquet is over," he announced, his voice carrying throughout the room. "We are done here." As he began to walk away, the king suddenly paused. "Wait until I summon you," he said, his voice unexpectedly soft, and then he was gone. Raymond blinked in confusion. He had not expected those words from the king, words that carried neither anger nor dismissal.